Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in now. I want to talk to you about this because this is something that I want you to be aware of, and you got to be very mindful. And I don't know for me if it's a gift or if it's a curse, but just being able to see people, being able to see through people, and being able to tell if somebody is truly genuine or whatnot. And so many people get caught up and they be talking about judging this and judging that. Oh, you judging and all of that. And that's people's fail safe to just play you like a fool and just play in your face and try to say, oh, if you call me out on my bull, you're judging me. And that's what people have to realize is none of what I talk about, none of my videos, none of that right there is judging, because people don't people fail to remember that the judge gives the sentence. We can't judge each other. All we could do is warn each other. All we could do is prepare each other. Y'all forgive me, I'm looking up because the World Cup on, and some of the greatest players ever play in the world is on the screen right now, and Cristiano Ronaldo and that Lamine Yamal, the young guy. And so that's what I want you to realize. And I tell you something, the biggest example, one of the biggest is Kanye West being a Christian grifter. And what I mean by that is Kanye came to the Christian faith and he started doing those Sunday morning worship services, and they were fire. I'm talking about the songs that choir was singing was amazing. They was doing their thing. And it's like, boy, this boy know how to make some music, boy. And he was just, everything was about God and all of that, but something didn't sit right with my spirit. I'm just like, I don't believe this. Like, I just all of a sudden out the blue, you just so gung-ho Christian. You just Mr. Righteous, Mr. Holier than thou. And then it came out about how he treating his wife, and then they, go through a divorce, and then the singers in the choir talking about, I think it was a lot of them saying they never got paid and stuff like this and all of that stuff. And then the next thing you know, he comes out and he says that he mad at Christ or he mad at God or something like that. And one thing about a genuine true believer, you're not ever going to be mad at God, because you are given a understanding. When you start to really walk with God, you're given an understanding that everything is always working together for your good. And no matter who you lose in your life, you understand that death is a part of life. You understand that everybody has a date, that some people, their date may be before they come out of the womb. For some people, their day may be one day after they come out of the womb. But it doesn't mean that God is a cruel God. It means that death is a part of life. And a lot of people get angry with God when all of their prayers aren't answered. And when they fall on their knees and they're crying out to God and they're saying, let my child live, let my mother live, let my father live. And I learned along the way that I have to stop praying my will and I have to pray that God's will be done. Because a lot of times we might be praying for something, and what we're praying for will bring that person more pain. What we're praying for will bring that person to another demise that will be even worse than the one that they could be facing in that very moment. So when you are truly a believer and you truly walking with the Lord, you understand. My prayer became, Lord, if it's not your will, let it slip through my grasp and give me the peace to be okay with it. It became no longer about my will and what I want and me trying to shape and shift the atmosphere and the culture and trying to dictate life. It stopped being, Lord, let this person live, and saying, Lord, you know best. If it's their time, if that be your will, give me the peace and the understanding and the strength to get through it, because I have no control over life and death. And that's what happens. And now we're seeing this. I'm seeing it with what y'all bringing to my attention. And I'm talking to my YouTube in case this show up on TikTok or Facebook or whatever. But my YouTube family, what y'all bringing to me, to my attention is the women and men who claim to be Christian and to love God, and then they go out and they don't get their relationship doesn't work, their startup company doesn't work, their business venture doesn't work, and then they come and start deconstructing Christianity, and they start putting words in God's mouth, and they start saying that, being this Christian or being this or that with God doesn't work. And they start bashing, for lack of a better term. And I saw what one of y'all sent me where they were talking about when being a good girl doesn't work. It always works if you're an actual good woman. It's going to work. What happens is when you're pretending to be a good woman, that's when it doesn't work. If you're a good man, it always works. Your relationship, your life, it always will work. You might have bumps in the road, bumps and bruises, but it's going to work. The thing about it is a lot of people are cosplaying as a good person, as a classy person, as a woman of God, as a man of God. And then stuff doesn't go there. Where I saw this guy, he came and was like, he came out and he wasn't a believer all the time. Y'all forgive me. My boy, summer program. And all the time, he wasn't a believer. I don't know his name. One of y'all sent him to me. And then he came out talking about, he mad with God or Christianity failed him. And it was kind of like he came over to the faith and pretended to be a believer so that he could be an enemy behind the lines. And y'all gonna see and notice more and more here over time. Y'all gonna see over time more and more people just all of a sudden become like this righteous, holier than thou person. Like you never heard anything about God from them. They've been online for years, never talked about God, never was like this devout Christian. And then just out of nowhere, they dropping scripture, they changing their whole brand. They're just so modest. They're so pure. They're so holy. They're so righteous. Every video is about God. Everything is about God. And then you're going to see them go through where they lose their job or their creator economy starts to fail or their relationship fails or whatever it is fails. And then they change their stance on God. Maybe God isn't who we think he is. Maybe being the good guy, being the good girl isn't the way to go. Maybe this, maybe that. And for me, I don't even have to listen. I don't entertain the stuff because I don't want that stuff going in my ears. I don't play with God. Like anything in the world could happen in my life and I wouldn't be mad at God about it. Anything in the world could happen in my life and I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to stop being a good person. I'm not going to stop being a God-fearing man. I'm not going to stop living right and doing the right thing. It don't matter what happened. It does not matter what happened. Y'all read the book of Job. All that he went through. All that he went through. All that he went through. Like, come on now. Come on now. All that he went through. And never cursed God. Never got mad with God. Cursed the day he was born, but then cursed God. That's a real believer. And that's what we need. Right now, we got a lot of fake believers. We got a lot of people who really don't believe. They really not like that. They really not walking that walk. And that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. And it's happening. Give me 1 second. And so, yeah, this is the thing. It's like I've been on here. I started my regular Facebook page 2007 and then got on Twitter 2009 and then started a Facebook business page 2012. Then got on Instagram 2014. No, 2011 started the YouTube. 2012 started the Facebook business page. 2014 started the Instagram. And probably 2025 started the TikTok. So I done been out here this whole time and my stance has not changed. I've always been a Christian. I've been a Christian since I was 6. I've always talked about God and I've always lived and walked a Christian lifestyle and talked about God. And everything I teach is based on biblical principles. I never was online as a playboy and a woman getter and all this here rapper and dope boy and then flip to being a Christian online. And we seeing a lot of people, and I'm telling y'all, like, it's getting bad. These Christian grifters, and I'm calling them Christian grifters, but even in the podcast space, people are just talking about God all the time, but they not living it. They living in willing, complete fornication, like willing, complete fornication, like all kind of just debauchery. And they say the name of God in one sentence, and then they say the F word, the curse word in the next sentence. And then they say, but God loved me and he ain't done with me yet. But they doing it because it's the same type of play that people run when they pretend to be gay or they pretend to be bi or they pretend. It's really a audience grabbing play. Like they trying to grab an audience. They trying to get an audience. Like they saying, hey, these Christians are super supporters. Like these Christians support so much. They support so much. I need these Christians. And they see, and here's the thing is like they look over and they see us who are actual Christians and who like living it and not Christian elitism. I ain't talking about the people who they get on here and you got to be speaking in tongues for the Lord to love you. It ain't about all that. But not Christian elitism, but they see God's favor. They see the love. They see the support. They see that our haters become our footstool. They see the promises of the Lord on our lives and they say, I want that. So what they do is they use the name of God to trick the babies in the Lord. And they start getting money and views and clicks and support from the babies in the Lord. And they muddy the waters because the babies in the Lord say, hey, this person talking about God all the time, but they also got a little mean girl in them. They also like the curse, or they also in fornication, or this or that. So maybe I could do that. And they think just because a person has a following, has an audience, then that means they know what they talking about. They think that just because a person is online, that means that whatever they say goes, and that the lifestyle they live is like stamped and ordained by God. And that's not the case. That's not how that works. But that's what they'll think. And the babies, they don't know. They on milk. They can't digest whole foods. They on milk. And so they just take what they hear. And these people don't care. These people don't care. They will definitely 1000% finesse them. And then this what they do. They get them in the boat. They get them up the creek. And they break their paddle. And they start to shift their stance on God. And they start to bring all of these clever demonic arguments about why doing it God's way doesn't work or doesn't always work. And it's like, no, it don't work because your heart was never in it. No, it don't work. You fake like you was a good guy. You fake like you was a good woman. That's why it ain't work for you. That's why you got left. That's why you got a divorce. That's why you got fired. That's why you went through this or that, because you was faking. For those of us really walking with the Lord behind closed doors and really living in our heart, anything we lose, we get it back. Like anything we going through, God give us the peace. He give us the strength to get through it. Good, bad, and ugly. He help us get through it. Point blank, period. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. Like, you ain't gonna ever hear me come on here and say God's way is not the way. I did it the devil way. Everything that the devil wants you to be, I did it that way. And I still wouldn't promote it, because God has given me the wisdom to understand is that also, although I fornicated and still ended up a married man and a married faithful man, I'm not going to say, hey, it's okay to fornicate. And although people have waited until marriage and still got a divorce, I'm not going to say you should fornicate just because somebody who waited, it didn't work out. And just because I didn't wait and it worked out, I'm still going to stamp and teach and preach God's way is the only way. The outcome is the outcome. Everybody's outcome may be different, but God's way is the only way. Someone asked me, Tony, why are you in the dark? Just because my light is harsh and I don't feel like it. And I got my TV on, a computer light on. But no, I'm not trying to be the man in the dark. I just my eyes just been tired and sensitive, and I just don't want to, because I got these two big old lights and then I got a big old spotlight. So that's why the computer light good enough. Touch your nose, start worrying about it. Scratch your booty and get glad. So that's what I want y'all to realize. Like, stop pulling out your wallet. Stop clicking hype and like and views just because somebody started talking about God. Try the spirit. Take your time, listen, see if the spirit really in there. Like, take your time. Take your time. I'm gonna tell you that now. Like, don't rush it. Don't rush it. Because that's how they do. It's like, it's really just, oh, I need to claim another audience. I was just hearing somebody the other day said that Lil Wayne said before that when he went to jail or prison or whatever, that if he wanted to like really take off or blow up his career, and if he was one of them fake guys, he could come out as a Christian rapper and it'll blow him all the way up. And he absolutely would. Like he absolutely would run up a bag that's on a whole nother level than a Lecrae and whoever else out there as Christian rappers. He would 10x, might 100x what they do. And every church, mega church that can afford his fee will have him in there. And thank God he ain't did it. And I hope he never do it. And if he do, I hope it's genuine. But somebody was saying, I was listening somewhere, and I don't know if that was true. He actually said that. But even if he didn't say it, that is true. He would blow up. And that's what these people doing. I'm talking about you got full-fledged thotty bodies out here. I'm talking about thotty bodies. I'm talking about they coming off that monkey quick. These men dropping D on people quick and talking about the Lord this, the Lord that, the Lord this, the Lord that, and don't be bit more living it than the man on the moon. The man on the moon be living it, and they don't be living it. The man on the moon living it, and they don't be living it. I'm like, and this is what I try to tell people. Listen, I'm gonna live right. I'm gonna live right because I know God. I done experience the blessings, the fullness, everything of God. And I don't want to experience his wrath. So when you see how good the favor of the Lord is, you know the wrath got to be equally as strong on the other end. And I don't want a wrath that is as powerful as his favor. So I'm gonna live right. You hear me? I'm gonna live right. The Lord said to me, Lord said something to me. And this to the married men and to y'all men that want to be married, make sure you get on destiny.com. We need more men on there. We got a lot of amazing women on there. We got some amazing guys on there, but we need more quality single men on there. So go to destinyapp.com, get on there, meet your wife. If it glitch in the sign up, just refresh it, go back in, sign up. It's technology, every technology. We on multi-billion-dollar technology right now, and this stuff be glitching, and it's worth multi-billion. So y'all don't be shocked when you see a small startup have a glitch or two. Y'all be in the comments, you ain't never seen Instagram crash. You ain't never seen this multi-billion-dollar technology crash. Don't be coming to me about my little app complaining. It's like hit the refresh button, change your browser, troubleshoot. You got to troubleshoot a little bit now to get what you want. Now it's a date with your destiny. So listen to me. I'm sitting there and what I'm about to tell y'all. I lost my train of thought talking about the app. I was talking about something about a married man. That point was finna be good too. Lord, don't let it be no CTE. That point was finna be good too. And then what I said, if you want to be married, I forgot what I was finna hit you with. Good old point. Y'all gotta forgive me. I be ad-libbing too much and went too far and lost my train of thought and I forgot what I was about to say. These boys taking shots on their goal. You hear me? These boys is not playing. Spain, they trying to tear Portugal up. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to hit the pause button, but we're gonna be dropping these jewels, and I'm gonna keep calling out the stuff y'all talking to me about, and I got to do my research on the other situation y'all asked me about with I believe it was a gentleman or a former NFL player that put something in maybe his wife drink or something like that, and so I look into that, and that is a lot more complex and nuanced than you think. It's not that easy. You know, a lot of time we put a lot of onus on the woman of, hey, pick a better man. You know, be careful who you pick, but them type of things is very, very hard to tell. Like it's almost impossible to tell. It's like a lot of times you'll walk away from a man who actually would do you no harm, that wouldn't bust a grape, but just because he was like real and raw and direct, it hurt your feelings. And so you'll walk away from him thinking that he might end up doing something like what this other gentleman did. And this other gentleman, what he did, he could be the sweetest guy you never met in your life. So that stuff is a lot more complex than we make it out to be. And sometimes it's almost unavoidable. Sometimes that's why I say, and I tell y'all all the time, love is a gamble. Love is a gamble. Love is a gamble. So I want y'all to think about that. And hey, all the important links in the description if you're on YouTube watching this. And make sure if you single, get over there, datesintheapp.com, join us. We building it out and be building it. Y'all gonna get tired of me talking about it. We talk about it every day. So make sure you get on over there, join us, meet the love of your life. Tell all of the amazing single folks you know. Hop on over there. God bless you. We'll talk soon.